first hint of a thaw in the European winter can usually be detected in Italy by late March. With spring approaching, even the wellies go on special. It's time to get out and about, meet up with friends, attempt to beat the traffic snarls, or even pray for outside assistance. The Autodromo di Monza is located 30 kilometres outside Milan. It's been home to the Italian Grand Prix for decades, the fans turning out in their thousands in anticipation of a Ferrari or Alfa victory. For 1987, the tin-top season was to start at Monza. The World Touring Car Championship was finally ready to roll with round number 1. European Touring Car Championship racing has traditionally opened at Monza with the 500k Enduro, virtually the sole property of Tom Walkinshaw and Wyn Percy. The Rover Drovers were on a hat-trick there last year, but the race will always be remembered for it marked the first appearance in the Euro Touros by Peter Brock and the Prince of the Privateers, Allan Grice. Showing a total lack of respect for Walkinshaw's million-pound team, Grice hammered his way through in an assortment of Turbo Sierras and Volvos, not forgetting Uncle Tom's red and white roadshow. The Aussies failed to see out the race, but it laid the foundations for their World Touring Car plans this year. Sadly, those plans failed to materialise. When the Monza roll call was taken last weekend, the Down Under representatives were Allan, Moffat and John Harvey in a Brock-built, Moffat-owned, ANZ-financed and Rothmans-sponsored VL Commodore.
Well, it's a long road from Toorak to Monza in a week, but here we are looking fabulous half an hour before the 24th running of the Monza 500 kilometre. John Harvey's with me as co-driver. We've put over 600 kilometres of testing on the car, and with the limited amount of spares we brought over, we've done a fantastic job to keep everything running and up on 9th position on the grid.
The fact that we have no spare engine, and we've had to be very easy on the car during the warm-up days toward today's race. We're delighted. The car is on the pace. This morning in race trim, it appeared to be as fast as anybody else on the racetrack, so yeah, we're very happy.
The feel for the WTC opener looked something like this. Pole to England's Grouse Rouse and Tassin in the Ford Sierra. For position 2, Emmanuel Pirro and Ratzenberger in the M3. Position 3, Marcus Osterreich and Megere. 4th posse, Riccardo Patrese and Cicotto in a factory M3, with Roberto Ravaglia and Ivan Capelli 5th fastest in another of the little BMs. Missing from the starting grid, though, were some big guns, including Tom Walkinshaw's 2 V8 Commodores, Tom refusing to subscribe 120,000 Yankee dollars in entry fees, and also missing the factory Eggenberger Ford Sierras, which were withdrawn after a scrutineering hassle. The start of the Enduro saw pole sitter Andy Rouse win the drag down the front straight towards the first chicane. If Andy had hoped to run away from the M3s, though, he was sadly mistaken. Moffat started the race in 9th posse. He gathered in 2 of the Bavarian lightweights in the opening circuit, but seemed content to sit in the Bavarian draft behind Pirro, Osterreich, Patrese and Ravaglia. Alfa's new Turbo 75 was well represented in the 41-car field. Luigi Racing had 3 entered, but as Colin Bond knows only too well, the Italian marque still lacks racing development. Maserati's new bi-turbo also made its Group A debut at Monza. The machine looks the goods and should be a competitive unit with some more Ks under its wheels. Rouse continued to set a solid pace at the head of the pack. The UK-based Sierra had stolen pole by 0.2 of a second, and by lap 14, Andy was moving away. A lap later, the Sierra was parked for the day after an engine exploded. Moffat was staying in touch with the leaders. The BMW M3s were proving sensationally fast. The Aussie Challenge received its only setback when Moffat coasted into the pits. His Rothmans Commodore bone dry. Harvey stepped into the mount. It was during this time out, race leader Riccardo Patrese was able to put a lap on the Holden V8. The little Bimmers just ran on song from start to finish. Harvey was 7th, but it was obvious the 8 million Deutschmark spent on the BMW's debut had been money well spent. Or had it. The fans, rival team managers and other runners had been sceptical about the M3 all weekend. Their fuel consumption figures would have made great subject matter for an episode of Great Mysteries of the World, and the little buzzsaws were attacking the straights like top fuel dragsters. The closing stages of the race saw Cicotto clear of teammates Pirro and Osterreich, with Moffat and Harvey's Commodore still a strong 7th. The real dramas of Monza, though, were to start after the race. Technical officers weighed the first 6 M3 BMs and found they'd been given the Jenny Craig touch, each up to 50 kilograms underweight, and they were disqualified, giving the win to Moffat and Harvey. Round 2 of the series is set for Spain in 3 weeks, and who knows what other dramas might be uncovered. Stay tuned to 7. We'll let you know.